And hello, everybody. How are you? I want to welcome everybody to tonight's special 555 portal openings, plural, more than one. We will discuss all this tonight, so I want to thank everybody so much. We had a lot of response to this from people from all over the world, so really excited to share energy with everybody here tonight and look forward to sharing this information on the day that we have the first of these portals. So we want to talk about this, kind of get into what's really going on and understand how to move forward in this time, because we obviously are going through a lot is going on, a lot of changes, a lot of upset on some level. So there's a lot of different things going on. I really want to focus more on energetically what is happening and how we can utilize this time to really maximize the situation, go forward in a positive way, and really try to understand it at a higher level. We're going to go through that tonight. I'll kind of touch on a number of different things and really, want to give you a good overview of what's happening from my perspective as far as what I'm seeing from my side, and then also obviously give you the overview of where we are, what to expect, how to move forward, and what's going to be best for you as far as what will be good things for you to do as we move forward to take advantage of this time and this situation as we go through all these different changes and all these different things that are taking place. So if you don't know me, my name is Joe Nunziata. You might have just stumbled upon this. I know I put up a YouTube video. We had a lot of people looked at that too, and we had a link to this. So we have a lot of, I think, potentially new people coming in who maybe don't know me well. So I am originally from Brooklyn, New York. I currently am in Southern California, living with my beautiful wife, and our son is out here as well. So we moved out here about 2011, but again, most of our lives we spent in New York, from the Brooklyn area. I was originally, like I said, not really into any of this. I grew up Catholic, which is another whole webinar for me to do one day, of recovering Catholics. That's a whole different discussion. But anyway, grew up there, not really into this work. I'll give you the short version. My dad passed when I was young. When I was 12, he was a narcotics detective, and he passed on the job when I was a young kid. And, I went out, was very aggressive. I was the oldest in the family, a boy, and we had issues at home, so I went to work very early, went through a lot of struggles in my life, went through early failure and bankruptcies and so forth, and said, I need to figure this out. I didn't understand what to do. I couldn't get anything to really get moving or working in a positive way. Ended up going to therapy for a while first, which was not something that we did. Italians from Brooklyn did not have a conversation about, your feelings on the Sunday dinner table, just in case any of you did. We didn't. And, went from there, and I started there, went in there with some trepidation, wasn't really excited about it, but I was kind of in a desperate situation and really fell in love with it, loved human behavior, started to study behavior and psychology, and started reading a ton of books and taking classes and listening to programs, really started to learn a lot about psychologically how we work. And then from there I kind of moved into metaphysical energy work, and then meditation, and then learned about the chakra system and how to clear negative energy. So I've been doing this work now for almost 30, I would say probably about 30 years or more. And every time I say that, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I've been doing this for such a long period of time. But I've been doing this for a long time. I have coached thousands and thousands of people. I've written several books. I have some best-selling books as well. I've spoken at events all over the country with a lot of top people that you would know. So I've kind of been out there doing this a long time, and I love, sharing this information with everybody and helping people really become empowered. That's really my focus. I love to help people become empowered and bring themselves to a higher place. And I think that's the key for us now as we go through the changes that we're going to be experiencing, is to really look at how do we move to a higher place and become empowered. That is really where we want to go here. So I just want you to know that that's our focus, and that'll be our focus. That's always the focus of my work, but that is the focus that's what we'll look at tonight as we go forward. So before we get started, I'll just tell you a couple of things. This is going to be recorded. I will have this recording out for you probably for those of you who registered later today, and then I'll get it out tomorrow to the general public, but I'll get it out to everybody later on. If you feel free, I always make a joke, but I say feel free to share this recording with your friends or enemies, whoever you like. We don't want to judge anybody. We want to try to help everybody. So you may have somebody who you say, wow, they need help. I don't know if I can help them. If you think this will help them, please share this with them. at the end of the session, at the end of tonight, if you have any questions, feel free. There's a chat box on the front page. If you're online, you can see there's a little chat box there. You can put a question there. There's also a box on the right. You can put the question in there and send it. No one else will see that question but me. I will not use your last name, so don't worry about that. If you do want to speak to me directly at the end, just hit *2. That'll show me that you want to raise your hand and you want to have a conversation. So that is basically how this works and what we're going to be doing tonight. So before we get into it, I just want to talk a little bit about what's going on, what last year meant to all of us, why it happened, how it happened, and where we are at. And I'm going to give it to you on two levels. So basically, one of the things that's important for us to understand is that we are spiritual beings, but we're having a physical third dimensional experience. So we're really two different people almost at the same time. The more you do work on yourself and the more you elevate yourself, you get more detached from the third dimension or the physical world. And that's really what we're experiencing now. So we're starting to see a tremendous separation from people. I'm going to talk about this tonight, but we're starting to see a real separation of people who are more, what I would say, are third dimensional. And what I mean by that is they're more attached to the physical world. Now, just so to be clear, I'm not judging it. I'm just trying to explain the difference. Then we have people who are, I would assume like you or myself, who have been walking this more of a spiritual path. So we are more what we would call 5D. Now, understand, even us, the people even who are more 5D, fifth dimensional, or in a higher vibration, we are still living a physical existence. So we still have to deal with the physical world. So even though we may say, well, I'm not attached to all this, but I'm still here. Now, understand that your soul chose to be here. Your soul wanted to be here for this time. I know a lot of people say to me, why would I choose to be here now? That seems like a crazy thing. And, it's one of those things, but you did. So you have to kind of accept that. Your soul wanted to be here. Your soul said, I need to be here for this time, and that's why you're here. So that's part of it. So you have to accept that. And we do have to go through the third dimensional experience as well, but we can choose how we do that. So that's really what we want to focus on tonight. And, look at this as we go back. So we're going to talk tonight about the 555 portals, which there are 3. I'll go through them all tonight. Last year, just to give you an example, we had 3 portals. This always happens at certain times of the year only. And this happened last year in April. Now, I want you to think about what happened in April, because in April, we went from, this pandemic was kind of just starting. And in March, well, here in the U.S., I know we have people in different parts of the world that started at different times. But here, around the middle of March, we had a situation where they shut everything down for 2 weeks and said we're going to shut it down for 2 weeks, see where we are, and then go from there. And then, of course, we got to the end of the month. They said, no, we can't open up. And then April is when we really went into the severe shutdown. So that was the big shift month last year, right? That was the month where we really had a big shift. That's when everything really got locked down, and that was the beginning of this whole situation. And now, of course, this year, we have the 3 portals in May, this month, these 3 portals. So this will be the big shift month for us this year. So again, each year has its own little different energy, signature, and vibration. So that's what we're going to have this year. So we have a lot going on right now as far as what was the purpose of this whole pandemic. Now, again, looking at it from a higher perspective. I don't want to look at it from the third dimensional perspective, but we'd have to, because there's a couple of different things, because we're living in both worlds, and this is important for us to understand. So the first thing you want to understand is, from a third dimensional perspective, there's a lot of agendas and a lot of things going on by people who want to keep power or be in power. So that's happening on the third dimensional level, right? All those people who are trying to get more power or be in power or take power, that's happening 3D. And you know what? As long as there are humans, this will be happening, because this is what humans do. So we know that, and that is going on. It may be upsetting. There's a lot of things that we could we could look at and say, wow, this is really upsetting. I can't believe these things are happening. I have people all the time, send me messages. I can't believe this is happening in my country or where I live, and it's crazy, but this is part of it. So that's one part, was the third dimensional element. The other part is, why did this happen on a higher level, on that spiritual level, on that energetic level? And I feel like a lot of it happened because it was designed to really separate the people who have a different way of living. And again, we are all one energy in the big picture, but here in the physical world, we go through these separations because that's how we kind of resort ourselves out. So that's part of what has happened here as we go forward. Now, I don't want to get into all the politics of it because there's all kinds of politics going on, and this is all part of these agendas, right? We've got a million things going on between what's happening politically, vaccines, masks. Should you get a vaccine? Should you not get a vaccine? If you don't get it, you're good. If you do get it, you're bad. Yes, you shouldn't get it. You should get it. It's so as far as I'm concerned, everybody has to do whatever they want. Whatever you feel works best for you, that's what you should do. Now, people have asked me advice. I would give them my advice, but you know what? I really feel at this point, everyone has to just do whatever they feel is best for them. People have actually asked me for advice and done the opposite. That's fine too. So I don't really care. The one thing we do know about human beings, and this is something we must be aware of, is, and it was funny, I was just watching, I was telling my wife the other day, there was a woman on in the morning when I was up having my coffee, and she was talking about how humans are designed to follow. And that really is true. Humans are very big on following because they want to belong. So that's a big part of it. It drives a lot of our behavior. You know, I was always kind of the opposite. To me, it was almost like if everybody was going left, I was going to go right because I felt like, why are you all doing that? But that's me. I'm a little bit of a different person. I was also always a big researcher. I would always research things before I did it. But a lot of people don't. We see this with social media. They see something on there, they react, they don't look into it. So this is all happening. So whatever's happening, let everybody do whatever they want. It's not your concern. If somebody asks you something, you want to help them, great. If they don't, let everybody do what they have to do. I don't want you to stress over it. It's going to cause you a lot of distress that's unnecessary. So we don't want to do that. We just want to let it go where it has to go. But on a higher level, this is happening in divine order. So let's understand that. So a couple of things we want to look at as the shift is taking place. So earlier this year in February, we moved into what's called the age of Aquarius. This is a new age. Now, this was a very big deal because a new age lasts over 2,000 years. This one's going to last almost 2,600 years. So that's basically what's happening. We moved into a new vibration, a new age. And in February, we also had a 222 portal on February 22nd, which was very, very powerful. So that was kind of the gateway that really kicked this year off. January was pretty hot, but February really shifted us because we moved into the age of Aquarius and we moved through this portal and really started to shift. So now we're going to see changes happening on all levels. We're going to see it all over the place. You will see it across the board in the world. You're going to see it in the physical world as far as, you know, I have friends who are more tuned into that. That's not really my area as far as what's happening physically, but they've talked to me about, you know, earthquakes and water events and floods and all these kinds of things. So that's one thing to be aware of that may be happening. Again, the timelines are moving around, so we don't know exactly what's going to be happening. We also have a big power struggle with light and darkness. So this is what I mean when I say the 3D people who are trying to get power and manipulate, that's one group. And then the light are the people who are in the higher space trying to bring that love into the world. So that's us. We want to bring that high vibration and love. We have to be sure that we keep ourselves there. So that's an important thing for us because it's an easy time to really get upset, right? We know that there's a lot going on. It's very easy to say, wow, I could really get upset and I could really, go down a dark road here because of things that are happening. So we want to understand that. So as I said, May is going to be our big shift month. This is it. We're just starting out. The energy is moving fast. So things are going to move quickly and be prepared. I'm going to talk about this more tonight. And also, this is a time when many of us who have done work, who have really gotten, moved ourselves through this, this is also a time when we are ending contracts. And what I mean by that is we're ending karmic contracts. This could be contracts you had with family members. This could be contracts you had in many different ways in your life. Could have been people who were friends of yours for a long time, business relationships. It could be romantic relationships. It could be anything. So there's a lot of different things. A lot of these karmic contracts usually go back to our parents. So we have a lot of issues, maybe endings with parents as far as people passing away or maybe just moving in different directions in those relationships as we move forward right now. So that's also something to look for as we continue to move forward. So these are just some of the things I want to kind of go over tonight, but I just wanted to give you a little snapshot of what to look at as we go forward. So right now, what we have is what I would consider to be a lot of conflicting beliefs and feelings, right? There's a lot of conflicts. There's like people, and unfortunately what's happened now, a lot of this has happened because people are being, again, manipulated and stirred up, and it's easy to do. Listen, propaganda and manipulation has been around as long as human beings are alive. I mean, this has been happening throughout life. So we know that it works. We know that people do it. They do it to use it to manipulate situations. People get power, get money, get whatever it is. So we know that. But what's happening now is because it's becoming so polarizing, we have these very extreme conflicting beliefs, and it's kind of you're here or you're there, and we've lost that in between. And that's the thing I miss, like where I'm able to say, hey, you know what? I think this and you think this, and that's okay. We've kind of lost that now. And it's becoming, I cannot tell you, and I'm sure you know this already, but I cannot tell you how many people I have heard from or spoken to or seen who said, I had friends for 20 years, 30 years. We don't speak anymore. Our beliefs are just so polar opposite. We are so out of it. We cannot even connect with each other anymore. I've had family members who have been split up by all these things that are going on, and it's just amazing. I mean, I've seen it with people who have been lifelong friends. I've seen it with families who are not allowing kids to see grandparents and so forth. So all these different things. So people are very dug in, and there's a lot of conflicting beliefs and feelings. So the key here for us is to say, I need to be true to my own feelings and not just do things because it's going to placate somebody else, or it's easier for me to do that because then I don't have to worry about having other issues. No. Do what feels best for you, because those of us who elevate ourselves never want to do something that does not feel right for us. Now, again, there is no judgment for the other people. So if people want to do the opposite or they want to do something different, that's fine. It's perfectly fine. I don't want to judge them, but I also don't want to be judged by them. So there's two sides to this story, right? I don't want to judge you, but don't judge me. If I want to do this, that's my choice. But I will tell you, again, a lot of people, they're angry. They're upset. Also, people are angry. People are disenfranchised. It's easy to get them riled up. So this is what we're watching, and it's very important right now for us to really look at what we're seeing and not react to the stories and the propaganda that we're getting. So look at what's happening. I always say to people, look at what's happening. Don't just react. Don't just buy all these stories. Really look at it and assess it for yourself. Do these things make sense? And most of the things that we're seeing really don't make sense. But again, it's a whole different, there's a lot going on that we don't know, that we don't see from this agenda situation and from the political side as well. So again, for us, it's stay true to your feelings. And again, I'm not looking to fight with somebody else. What I'm looking to do is I'm looking to hold my space. And that's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. That's all I want to do. So what we have going on right now is what I'm thinking of as an organic separation. So what that means is this is organic in the sense that it's happening naturally, almost on its own, right? We're seeing people drift away from us. We're seeing people disconnect from us. We're disconnecting from them. And it's just happening almost in an organic manner, really, the way I'm looking at it. So what we want to do now, our goal as we go forward is going to be, what I want to do is I want to make sure that I am constantly putting myself around people and in situations that make me feel good, that are positive, that work for me. So this is a conscious decision that you have to make sure that you are doing that. And if it's a negative person, a negative situation, a negative circumstance, something that does not feel good for you, it is up to you to make sure you do not go there. Now, if you do, that's on you. Because what you're doing is you're bringing yourself into this lower energy and you're disrupting your energy. And every time you do that, you have to bring yourself back out of it and rebuild. I don't want to have to keep rebuilding. I'd rather just stay in my lane here and stay around people who make me feel good, who are aligned with me. Now, again, I'm not putting – this is very important, I think, and especially for us in the third dimension. It's easy to get mad at people and judge them. But it's going to be really important for us right now to not do that. Because for us to hold high vibration, we have to love everybody. Now, it doesn't mean I want to be around you if your energy is disrupting me, but I don't want to hold negativity toward anybody because that's going to really disrupt my energy field. I don't want to do that. I want to just, hey, you know what? That's great for you. God bless you. I hope it works out. I'm going to be over here. That's where I'm staying. So that's it. So like I said, it's an organic separation. Let it happen. This is part of what I was talking about earlier with the karmic contracts coming to an end. This is part of it, right? Part of it is they need to go over there. You need to go over there. And, it's funny because I was talking about this recently on an interview I was doing, and I was saying to somebody, those of us who walk this path, we all have a very similar story. And what I mean by that is we were the kid that didn't fit in. We didn't fit in with the family. We felt like an outcast. We didn't jive with these people. We thought there was something wrong with us. That is what happens for people who have come to this lifetime to choose this path, a spiritual path. And again, that just happens to be what you did in this lifetime, myself and many others, right? So those people chose a different path. So when I say once you clear the energy with them, in this case, family we're talking about, right? Once you clear the energy, there is no longer a reason to keep that going because the cycle is over. So now if we try to keep it going or force it, then we're going to get ourselves in trouble. And that's what we don't want to do. So don't drag it out. Don't sit there and say, I know. And listen, every single person, I always tell every single person is a genius if we allow ourselves to be one. And you know if something is over. You know it in your feelings. You know if the job is over. You know if a relationship is over. You know if a friendship is over. You know it, right? And what we do is, and it's hard when it's family because we say, well, that's my family. And I have all this third dimensional attachment that what I'm supposed to do or the role that I've had growing up in the family and all these different things that are going on. But what's important for us to understand right now is this is not serving either party when we get into a situation when we hold on to this stuff. Okay, it's not serving anybody. So it's very important that we understand that ending the cycle is best for both parties, even though it may be emotionally difficult, because that's part of your karmic lesson, by the way, and that's part of what you came to do. So if you drag it out, you're just going to make it worse, and it's going to just drain more energy from you. And as we're going into this high vibration, I want to take advantage of the high energy that's coming in. I don't want to get stuck in the mud over here. I don't want to get stuck in the sludge. I want to keep going forward. I want to keep moving up. I want to keep going higher. So it's very important to be in alignment with yourself. So you have to sit there and say, okay, I need to look at where I am. I have to make sure my life is in alignment. Now, listen, life is life, right? Everything is not perfect all the time. It's basically never perfect. But the bottom line is we want to make sure we look at everything and say, am I in alignment and am I moving toward alignment? This is also part of it. So if I'm in a negative relationship that I refuse to give up, or a negative situation that I just feel bad, maybe just feel bad about it. Like I said, it could be a karmic cycle that's ending with a family member, and you need to get away from this person. You know that. Again, there's no judgment. It's just that we're going into different energy, and it's not serving either party. So you want to get in. So that's taking you out of alignment. That's taking you to a different place. It's moving you out of where you're supposed to be. So and I'm not saying it's easy because it's an emotional experience, and we have to understand that we're going to go through an emotional experience as we break karmic cycles. Part of our chakra system that we're clearing energy is about breaking those cycles, and it's about breaking karmic cycles, and then it's about moving forward, and it's understanding that doesn't mean, even though it is for your highest and greatest good, and the other person as well, because they both see. Here's what happens in a karmic contract. I'm going to give you my own karmic contract just to give you full transparency. I came here. We all have core issues. We all have the same energy and the same emotions, but we have certain core issues that we came to work on. One for me is abandonment. Okay, that's a big one for me. So I have an issue. I had an issue. My father died when I was young, so I had abandonment there. But then I had a lot of conflict with my mother. She was really causing a lot of pain in my life. So I got to a point and I said, you know what? We had to separate. So there was a point where I did not speak to her for a couple of years. And for me, that was very traumatic because I was the Italian nice son who was supposed to take care of everybody. And it was very difficult for me to do that. But at a higher level, that was something that I needed to do. Okay, that was something that I had to do. Now, understand something. It was beneficial in the end for both of us because in my mother's contract with me, she needed to be abandoned by me so she could feel those feelings. So the same way I had to leave her to feel my guilt and shame and whatever and failure, which I felt, she had to feel her feelings. So that's what a contract is. It's two souls that said, we're going to come here together. We're going to have this experience together, and then we want to resolve the issue. It doesn't mean it's not difficult because it's meant and designed to be an emotional thing. So it doesn't mean it's not. It doesn't mean, oh, great, this is for my highest good. I'm going to just I'm just going to tiptoe through the tulips out here and kind of float away and everything's wonderful. No, it's emotional. It's difficult. That's part of why we're here, to go through those karmic experiences. So I just want to put this on your radar. So as you go forward, you're ready and understand that it's work, right? It takes some work and it takes some time. So let's talk about the portals, which is really what we want to focus on here tonight. I just wanted to give you a little kind of overview of what's going on in general. So we've got 3 portals. They are 555. So 5 is, every number has a different vibration and a different feeling. So 5 is the number of change. It's actually considered in numerology the master of change. 5 is the number of much change. So when we have 555, very powerful, those are numbers that are very strong when we have the 3 5s together. So this year, because of numerology, if you're not familiar, we break every number down to a single digit, right? So we go 2021, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 1 equals 5. Today is the 5th, and it is the 5th month. So today is 555. So this is the first portal will be today because those are the 3 5s in the first one. The second portal will be on May 14th. Again, same idea, right? May is a 5. 14, 1 plus 4 equals 5. And, of course, the year is a 5. So that is our second portal. And the third portal is May 23rd. Same thing. May, of course, the 5th month. 5, 2 plus 3 equals 5, and 5 year. So those are going to be your 3 portals. The first one is today. I'll go through what each one is about. And, again, I'm just going to try to help you just kind of get on track and use this. This is a great time to really move forward. But you have to be ready for it, and we want to be in alignment and geared up to move forward. So the first portal is today. We consider that the door opener. So that's the one that opens up. It's almost like, think about it like the door opens and the energy flows in, right? That's going to come flowing in, all this high energy, all this strong energy. So here's the deal. You're going to feel this energy depending on where you are in your journey. So this is going to be energy that's trying to get you to be empowered. So that is a very important theme for this year, is empowering yourself. So the idea is to say, do I feel empowered or do I feel weak? Where is it that I'm feeling? So this is the door opener to move you in that direction of feeling empowered. And that is so if you feel like, wow, I don't feel like that, or I feel like I'm in a bad situation, this is a great opportunity. So what you want to do here is you want to be very clear about what it is that you want to do going forward. You want to be super clear. So what I mean by that is this is not about, well, I want more money. That's not it, right? That's not going to work. Oh, I would love to get in a relationship. No, that's not going to be it. It has to be specific. So you've got to be very clear about what it is exactly that you want to do going forward. Now, understand something. It should be something, and this is an important focus for us, for a lot of people who are not good at this. It should be something that is for your highest and greatest good. And it should be something with a pure intention. So what I mean by that is it's something that's good for you, and the idea behind it is you are not doing it for any other reason than to elevate yourself and be a positive force in the world. So if your intention is you want to do something to hurt somebody else, or it's something negative, or you're doing something because you feel, angry or upset, that is not going to work, because this energy will not support that. So the idea behind it is to say, what is it exactly that I want to do? What is it where do I want to go in my life? What do I feel is my direction, my purpose, the reason for me to be here? What is that? And then what is my intent? The intention is critical, because as long as I have that pure positive intention. Now understand something. Part of this is about you, and this is where people get a little wonky sometimes, but part of this is about you benefiting from this. Okay, I want you to understand that. So for a lot of us who walk this path, and we want to help people, right? That's our thing. We want to help other people because, and all of us, I think, who walk in this world, we all do. We all want to help people, and we all want to help people have better, be better. But the first person I have to focus on is myself. So I have to want it to be good for me. Now, if doing that makes you feel any way that is uncomfortable, then that is an issue you have to address. So if you going out there and saying, wow, me doing something that's for me is making me upset or making me feel guilty or making me feel shame or making me feel any way that's not positive, that means you have work to do. That means there's something inside of you that is not clear. Okay, so that's an important thing for you to understand. So don't forget, it's what do you want, pure intention, and then also you are supposed to benefit from this. You are supposed to get something because the universe wants balance. It doesn't want you to empty your tank and get nothing back, right? It doesn't want that. It wants you to be sustainable. It wants you to move forward. So whatever this is, whatever form this is coming back to you in, it may be coming back to you in health. It may be coming back to you in money. It may be coming back to you in a relationship. It may be, it's going to come back to you. It doesn't have to be, we always think, of course, of everything as money, but it may come back to you in just appreciation. You don't know, but the bottom line is it's pure, it's intention. What are you looking to get? Obviously, we are living in a physical world. So there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I want this to be a big success so I could be very successful. That's fine. If that bothers you, then that's a problem that you have because you're judging yourself actually in that sense. So this is the door opener. So take this first week to do that. I want you to really focus. And it's also very important to search your feelings because any feelings you have that are out of alignment with your desire, that's going to cause you disruption, right? So if you say, wow, I need to get away, I need to, I have people saying, I don't want to take care of, my parents, I have to put them in a place or whatever. I don't want to do it, but I feel like that's best for you. It's probably best for them too. Now, it doesn't mean, again, that's the best, greatest good situation. That may be something you need to do, but you're going to feel guilty about it. It's okay. But at the end, when it all shakes out, you will be in the best position because then it'll take you to a higher place. When you're going through it, it's going to have its little difficulties there, right? When you go through these little things. But once you get through it, when I look back now at what I did with my mother, at the time, it was extraordinarily difficult. Right now, looking back, it was many years ago. I'm able to look back and say that was probably one of the greatest things I ever did in my life, most empowering things I ever did. And it was an important part of my growth. At the time, it was difficult, right? But again, we're going to look back at it and see it in a different way. So that's portal 1. So portal 2, 5/14. So when that one comes, so that's going to come right about 9 days from now. That'll be your second one. So that's going to be your second round coming around. So you got this week and all until next Friday. That's going to be right. So when that one comes, that is going to be your assessment. That's your assessment. That's your kind of middle of the situation. So now I've set my intention. I have focused on my desire. I know where I want to go here. I'm getting in this high energy. I'm not judging people. I'm staying pure. I'm not getting caught up in any negativity. I'm allowing myself to receive. I'm keeping myself in that beautiful space. And when I do that, right, that's what I want to do. I want to see where am I by Friday, by the week from this Friday. Look at this and say, okay, this is portal 2. Where am I at here? Now, I don't mean necessarily where are you at as far as did you get there? Did you complete the mission? It's more of saying, how do I feel? Do I feel like I'm moving in the right direction? And how does this all feel to me as far as what's going on? And how do I feel right now about myself and where I'm going and what's happening, right? So you want to kind of take that assessment and you want to make sure that you make any little adjustments that you have to make at that point, and then you go forward. Now, also, because of this portal and because of this opening, things may come to you, opportunities, different situations, things that come out of nowhere. It could be an opportunity to move. It could be an opportunity to go work somewhere else. It could be a myriad of different things. So that could be something else that starts moving you in that direction. Because when you start setting clear intent, things start moving you forward. All of a sudden, these things may start coming to you. It'll validate your feelings. It'll help you move forward in a positive way. So that's going to be the 14th. So just kind of see where am I at here by the 14th, by this middle portal. And then when I get to the third one, that's when the door closes. So that energy burst kind of shuts down. And that doesn't necessarily shut down, but you know what I mean? It's going to slow down, and that's going to be where we assess. Okay, how do I feel? Where was I on the 5th? Where am I on the 23rd? Okay, so again, they're all about that little 8-9 day period apart. So where am I from here to there to there? So the idea is first, again, that clear direction you want to go in. The second one you'll assess. The third one will be like, I'll take a step. Okay, where am I at? Where am I at now? Where am I going next? I've kind of absorbed all that energy. How do you feel? You may also feel physically very different. So as you're absorbing a lot of energy, your physical body may also be changing. One of the things that may happen is you're going to be lighter. And when you are lighter, your desires change as far as what you eat. You don't want to eat as much. You don't want to drink alcohol. You don't want to smoke. You don't want to do drugs. You don't want to do all that because it's disrupting your energy field. So you may notice that all of a sudden things that you used to like to have, you don't want to have anymore, or you're just not eating as much. You want to be more physical. You want to be in better physical health. These are all things that may start happening as we go through this moving through. So now we're going to end this thing. We're going to go through the 3 portals. We're going to get to the 3rd one. And then just for fun, at the end of the month, we have on the 26th, we have the super moon number 3. We actually have 4 consecutive super moons, March, April, May. This is the 3rd one, and June. Now, this super moon, so if you're not familiar, a super moon is when the moon comes very close to the earth. Okay, it's when the moon comes very close to where we are. And, the moon has an impact, of course, on our bodies, on water. Our bodies are mostly water. And it brings very, very high vibration. So it's almost like we're gonna end that portal and then get another jolt of energy on the 26th, almost like you're going to get a little, okay, the portal closed on the 23rd. I got a day or two to kind of settle down, and then bang, here comes the supermoon bringing us another big burst of energy. So this is going to be a very intense month, like a roller coaster of energy coming in. So it's almost like you want to buckle up now and be ready to ride up and down all over the place, because that's what you're going to see as we go forward. So this is one of those things that we're going to be ready. So like I said, it's a wild month because you're going from this high energy, these 3 portals. There's also a new moon on the 11th in between all this. And then at the end of the month, we've got this super moon coming in, like I said, the most powerful of the year. And this one will be closest to the earth. So just for good measure. So now after all this happens, right, all this energy comes in, all these shifts start taking place. What's going to happen now at the end of the month on the 29th of May is we're going to go into Mercury Retrograde. So Mercury Retrograde is when everything slows down. So we're going to need a few weeks. It's from May 29th to June 22nd. We're going to need a couple of weeks to just settle down. Okay, so after all this, now you may still be, just so you understand, your major shifts may have taken place already. And this may be, you're still moving, but you're no longer in, now you're just kind of doing what you have to do. You're doing your thing, but you're not necessarily in the big shifting mode. Doesn't mean more shifts won't happen, but the major shifts may already happen before we get to this point. And when we go into retrograde, it doesn't mean we're not doing anything. It's just kind of slowing it down. It's also going to give us a chance to assimilate our energy a little bit more into this higher vibration that's coming in every day, by the way. As we're moving forward, this higher energy just keeps coming in. So we're going to that's not going to stop. That'll keep going and going and going. We're going to have that energy and that vibration continuing to move in. So that's going to be kind of how the month ends. And again, you want to just take a breath. Let it settle in. Just take a little deep breath. I breathe. This is also something you should be doing right now, just so you know, because we have a lot of energy coming in. Do a lot of deep breathing. I meditate every morning, and even throughout the day. I love to do a lot of deep breathing exercises just to keep my energy, grounded. I'm also keeping myself going. And also people don't realize that a lot of your energy comes from oxygen. So it's important now when you have all this going on to keep your breathing. So make sure you're doing a lot of nice deep breathing and relaxing. That's going to be very important as we continue and come out of this, especially by the end of the month. You should be doing it now because it'll prep you. The more you do it, it's funny. I just did this with a group, some young people recently, some deep breathing exercises, and it was amazing to see that they could not do it. I was having them inhale on a slow 4 count, and I can't tell you how many of them couldn't get to 4. they couldn't even actually do it. They said, oh my God, I can't believe I can't breathe like that, because they're not used to breathing deeply enough. And these were young people in their 20s, and they could not do it. They could not bring in the oxygen. So just be aware. That's crazy, right? But that's what we see every single day. So let's talk about the rest of this year, and then I'll be happy to take any questions you guys have. If anybody has a question about anything, like I said, put it in the Q&A box. I'll be happy to grab anything there. You could also hit *2, and that will be another way if you want to talk to me at the end or use the chat. Any of those are all good. So again, let's talk about the rest of 2021. What are we going to do to keep that energy going, keep us moving forward in a positive way? So first, this is going to be important. I found this graphic. If you're looking at the slides, I found this tornado graphic, and here's my do not get sucked up in the negativity. I am telling you now, it is all around us. It is nonstop. It is a barrage. You have to keep yourself in a bubble, because this negative energy, this negativity is coming at you from every direction. And it's funny because I don't really watch news. I mean, I get up in the morning, and my routine is I get up really early and I meditate. And I exercise in the morning, and I'll put the TV on. And I just kind of put it on just to make sure the world didn't end that day. I just want to say, okay, let me see what's happening. Let me see what's going on and make sure everything's okay. But even in that little moment, and I'm talking a couple of minutes, it's like, wow. And then you go online, your emails, your social media, you're getting texts. I mean, it's coming at you from every direction. I mean, I'm driving on a highway. There's signs saying things on the highway. I mean, so it's like every single, you're getting it constantly. So it's very important to not get pulled into it. And again, don't hang around people who are pulled into it, because that's that negative energy you want to avoid. So if you're talking to all people who are angry and upset all the time, you know what's going to happen to you. You're going to get sucked into that negativity, and you're going to get sucked into that place. So we don't want you to do that. We want you to be, again, hold your space. This is an important thing to do, right? We have to do that now as we go forward. So now, the next thing we want to do, you want to be focused, plan, act, and adjust. So here's what I mean. We're focused on where we want to go. We're going to make our plan. We're going to take action. You have to act. You have to do so. You can't just sit around and hope for the best, right? We got to take some action. And then we're going to make adjustments. So part of it is, as we are moving forward, right? You don't want to be haphazard. I was, as a business person, as a business consultant for many years, I was always big on planning and execution. Sometimes we have to just react to a situation as it comes, which we will. But as you're going forward, be aware. It's like riding the wave, right? I'm going to adjust as I go. Sometimes I'm at the calm part where I'm just floating along. Sometimes the wave is picking up some speed. I need to be ready to go with the flow and go with the program as I continue to move forward. Also, because of all this energy shifting and timeline changes, you want to be ready for not that you could ever be ready, right? But be ready for unexpected changes, things that will come out of nowhere. So it's almost like, wow, I didn't expect that. It could even be, good things. I'm not talking about bad things, but just be ready for unexpected changes. And when they come, you do not want to be in resistance. So even though you may say, wow, I never expected that, you may be a little fearful. Sometimes when something comes into our lives that we don't expect, it could be something that, you've been waiting for your whole life. You could say, wow, this is something, I've been waiting for forever, and wow, it's here, and I don't know what to do with it. It's funny because that'll happen. Or it could just be an unexpected, positive, serendipitous thing that comes your way because your energy is ready to receive it. So again, you may feel nervous about it, or you may feel fearful. You may say, wow, I don't know what to do with this. But again, give yourself some time, relax a minute, let yourself absorb the feeling, and then act accordingly. So we want to make sure that we are holding space. So that's what you want to do right now. You want to hold your space. This is critical because this is about, I'm going to go back to what I started with here for the end, right? This is about empowerment. Empowerment means I'm holding my space. Now again, empowerment is not about overpowering someone else. It's about feeling power within myself. Our chi, we hold our chi in our solar plexus area, in our stomach area, which is that's where your power is. So it's funny because the center of your power is the solar plexus where you hold your chi, and it's also the place where you hold your anger. So it's a very interesting thing, right? I hold all my power there in a positive way, but I also hold all my anger there as well. So these are two different things that I'm holding on to, in that space. So I don't want to hold anger. I want to hold my power in that space. Again, as I said earlier, trust what you see, not what you're being told. This is a very important part of really holding our space and doing the things that are best for us. So just because somebody's saying something, do not be one of those people that's reactionary. I want you to vet that information, find out what's going on, trust what you see. Do not allow yourself, again, to get sucked up in all this negativity and all this manipulation, and you're going to be distorted. We don't want to do that. Also, trust yourself, right? Trust what you see. Trust yourself. Follow your inner guidance, because your inner guidance is always going to be the best thing. Because your higher self, you have to understand, knows everything. We just have to tap into it to make sure that we follow it. So anytime you follow your inner guidance, things work well. Think about your life. When you went against it, when you did something you didn't feel good about, we all know what happens. But this is an important part now, because there's so much coming at us from all angles. I mean, I'm hearing people talking about, I'm getting it at work, about different rules and what they want to do, and you should have a mask, and I have all these different things. I'm getting it at family. I'm getting it here. So we're getting barraged with a lot of stuff, right? We're getting barraged with a lot of beliefs and feelings and anger and all these different things. You have to hold your space. Stay out of the negativity. Again, trust what you're. I cannot say this enough. Trust what you see, not what you're hearing. If you trust what you see and follow up and really get the right information, you're going to see things very clearly. And that's important too for us right now, is to see things very, very clearly. And again, follow that voice within yourself, that inner guidance. That's always going to be your best friend. So I hope you found this useful. This was, again, I like to do these every once in a while, especially when we have so much going on here in the world. If you'd like to find out more about me, just go to joenunz.com, JOENUNZ.com. So just so you know, when you go to the site, I have some all information there on the top there. But I've also just uploaded 2 meditations that you can use. One is a morning meditation, and one is of how to focus yourself. So I just put those on there. So there, just click, you go right to them, and you can listen to those and use those meditations as well to keep yourself calm and in alignment as we go forward. So what I'd love to do, if anybody has a question, I see a lot of great. Someone said I got here from YouTube. That's awesome. So I got a lot of. We have a lot of different things. Some different things. But anyway, this is a lot of positivity. Water, water, water. I'm hearing. Thank you so much. God bless you, Joe. I always love it. I'm going to receive all that positivity, just so you know. Let me see if I got any questions here in the chat, or actually you could hit star 2 if you have a question. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have or anything about this stuff that's going on here right now. I do have a few things in the chat. So let me go to, so someone said, I saw 555 3 times already today. That's awesome. That is a great thing to see, right? You've been seeing it already. My friend Kevin from Toronto. Joe, what would you suggest for the following? I feel like I've chased my dream and don't really have anything I want to go after. I've been applying to jobs. I have no real drive, i.e. business career. However, I know I need to do something to make money, take care of my family. P.S. I'm paying attention to how I feel. Just being is what feels good. Just seems selfish. So there you go, right? There's something where just being yourself, sometimes you just have to say, when you're doing things in this kind of energy and we're trying to force it, or we're doing it because we feel like we have to, or we're guilty, or whatever it is, it's one of those things that takes us into a place of negativity. So we don't want to do that. So the idea is to say, if I feel like I want to do something and it's only for money, obviously that's going to create pain, but you have to keep focusing on what it is that you want to do. So when we're not moving in that direction, it generally means that either we're not clear or we're not allowing it to come in. So those are generally the 2 things that we want to know. A lot of times it's that I feel like, what I've seen a lot working with people is people think they want something, and then at the end of the day, they don't. So I think that's one of those things that we kind of think a lot of people, and I think we've heard this, we've seen this our whole lives, where we were kind of given something to do that, and we've been giving something to, I'm supposed to do this, and I'm supposed to do this, and I'm still kind of in that energy. And it's a very interesting thing, because I'm still not doing what I want. I'm doing things that it's based on my old karma, my old identity, my old beliefs. So I think it's important for us to let go of all that and really get lined up with who we are and really get lined up for where we're going. Somebody said, I quit my job today. Congratulations. If that makes you feel good, I'm really excited for you. Someone else said, thank you so much. My birthday is May 23rd. That is awesome. So much generosity. We appreciate your spirit. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you as well. And really, I want you all to understand that, we all have to together really love each other and put positive energy towards each other, because that's how we're going to get past this thing. Any advice for 31st birthday on 5/14 second portal? Jen, congratulations. So 31st birthday, which is a 4, but 5/14 second portal. So yes, so that is perfect, because 4 is the number that is more of a number of the third dimension, like really getting myself in order. So if that's what if your birthday is on the 31st, if your birthday is on the 14th and you're going to be 31, which is a 4, then that means that's a great time for you to really make sure that everything is in order in your life, and use this time now between now and then to look at that situation. And then by the 14th, by your birthday, you want to make sure that you're in alignment with yourself for where you want to go forward in your life right now. So that's a great exercise. So congratulations. Happy birthday. I love it. I love when we have these serendipitous little birthdays and things like that going on as well. So great stuff. Always, I love it. I love the questions and everything else. So on my site, again, go on there, go to joenunz.com. There's a whole bunch of good info. I do stuff like this on a regular basis. I put up stuff on my YouTube channel as well. And I look forward to really connecting with everybody. So listen, I know right now things kind of seem a little crazy out there. I'm going to ask you to keep the faith. I'm going to ask you to keep the faith, pray, focus on positivity. Don't feed the negativity. I think our greatest weapon right now is going to be, we are going to feed the positivity. We are going to feed the love. That's how we're going to win this thing here. We're not going to feed it by being negative. It doesn't mean we don't resist, because don't forget, Jesus believed in nonviolent resistance. So this is very important, right? Nonviolent resistance. And doesn't mean we can't resist in a nonviolent, positive way. Not what we're seeing out here, burning down stores and all that. So it's a different kind of thing. So focus your energy on positivity and love. There's nothing wrong with resisting in a nonviolent manner and doing what you feel is right. The more we all pull together, the better we're going to do here. So it's up to us. We're the spiritual warriors that have to do this and keep this going in a positive direction, because we're going to be the ones that turn the tide here. So keep the faith, hold strong. I'm sending you a lot of love, many blessings, protection, and hold on and just keep going forward in a positive way. I love you all. I look forward to connecting with everybody real soon.